everybody to the Single and Stilettos show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have as our guest Cara O, and she is the author of Men Made Easy. And I'm so excited to have her here today because she's going to tell us what men really want from women. And Cara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. It's been a little chaotic, but yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, and you're out in sunny California. I just saw a guy walk by your window.
We just moved into this glorious new house and the spa wasn't working, so that's the spa man.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Everyone's dying to go into your spa now. But more importantly, I want to know how you got into this business.
Well, it's kind of a circuitous route, and I'm only going to give you a little quick thumbnail. Basically, after a 29-year marriage that I thought was great, went off to Bali, kind of got woken up to, wow, there's more to life, and came back to Santa Barbara to start teaching a workshop called Embracing Our Sensual Selves. And that was really a lot about me waking up and wanting to share what I'd been learning. So I had this panel of men come in and answer any question the women had ever had. And in the process of interviewing these guys to see if they were up for the job, I was learning things that I knew that women didn't know.
Right.
So I decided to stop everything I was doing. I was teaching very deep personal growth workshops. Think, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to lighten up here. And man, they told me so many things about themselves that was brand new. And that was 10 years ago. There's a lot out now.
Right.
But at the time, there was very little.
So tell us, what are the top 3 things that men want from a woman?
Well, I mean, clearly men are visual. So they need to just simply be attracted to a woman. That's it. Whatever. And if he's attracted, he's attracted. If he's not, there's not a lot you can do.
Exactly. And I tell women that all the time. But every guy likes a different look. So don't think every guy likes the skinny model type.
That's right. And you know, they mostly don't. Unless you're in Los Angeles. I don't know about New York men. But, you know, skinny is, they want a woman who's just healthy. That's it. And that can be a lot of different things. You know, a size 14, if you're glowing and happy, you look healthy.
Exactly.
And that guy's into a size 14, cool.
Right.
So, and then there's 12 secrets in my book, and the last one is the most important. Well, the first and the last.
Okay.
The last one is a man wants to be with a woman who makes him feel like a man.
Okay.
And that, you know, appreciate him for what he brings to the table, because he brings stuff that nobody else can.
Right.
You can't get that from your girlfriends. The other thing is they really, and this is part of making them feel like a man, is treat them with appreciation, respect, admiration, all those things that make them feel like the hero. I'm the man. It's, you know, and women go, I don't want to do that. Well, then fine. Then you're not going to have a happy guy on your hands, and you're probably not going to do that well.
Right. And you know, it's funny because I tell the same thing to women all the time. And, you know, I think it's really hard for the career-driven woman who takes control of her life to let go when it comes to her personal life. So what kind of advice would you give the total career woman who takes care of everything? What does she need to do in a relationship to make a man happy?
Well, one of the great things about women is that we can wear all these different hats.
Right.
Part of it is, you know, we are mothers. When we're in mothering mode, we are in masculine because we're caretaking, we're protecting, and that's what men do. They caretake, they protect.
Right.
And so what women need to do to get into their feminine, I tell them, come home, or if you're going to go from work on a date, what you need to do is literally get rid of, I think of it as a hat. Take off the masculine hat, and if you're in the car, shove it in the glove compartment. If you're at home, shove it in a drawer. Literally, like just imagine yourself doing that. Right. And then I kind of like creating some sort of feminine lingerie kind of thing, a slip or whatever, and you just lift your hands up and sort of a fairy godmother just lets it slither down onto your body. And just imagine as that's happening, oh, I'm going into my feminine energy. Make it a ritual. If she comes home and has a glass of wine every night, make that a ritual, not just, oh, I gotta relax, I need some wine. Yes, this is helping me get into my feminine energy. Can't go out there and be competitive.
Yeah, I completely agree. And this is what I tell women. I think it's funny that you tell them to take off the hat. I tell women just to leave the work personality at work. And we're not telling women to change who they are. I don't want women to think that's what we're saying.
No, not at all.
All we're saying is the guy doesn't want to be in a relationship with the type of person you are at work. Men don't want that type of woman.
And they've also trained themselves. When they're at work, I mean, they may be fighting all kinds of stuff that's going on inside of their bodies and outside, and to just sort of ignore that she's an attractive woman, just ignore it. And so, you know, you get to on a date and you've got your power suit on, and you've got your power energy on. He's been taught to ignore that.
Right.
Plus, he doesn't want to be with someone who's competitive.
Right.
And it's real, I mean, you younger women, you know nothing other than the feminist kind of thinking.
Right.
The power woman thing. I'm old enough that I know what it's like before, during, and after.
Right.
And it's wholly different the way a woman's energy is when she's just in. Here's the thing. A woman's job in a relationship is to receive. Just wouldn't it be nice to, you know, we've been power all day long, and we need to come home and relax. Just imagine, receive his masculine energy, receive the gifts of whatever he offers, even if it's opening your door. Just receive. And then his job is to give, and he gets to.
Right.
When she goes into receiving mode, he gets to do what he loves to do, and that is to give.
Right.
And take care of and protect and be the hero. Give him opportunities to be the hero.
Right.
It's hard for women, though, I know.
It is. I've seen a lot of women have a really hard time, just letting, like you said, receiving. I love that you use that word.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of women want that, but it's hard for them to just let go and let that happen. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Ian Smith, but he had this quote that I love, and it just goes along with what you just said, is men want to feel needed and women want to feel wanted. And if you remember that, that is so, so important when it comes to a relationship.
Yes. I teach a workshop called The 5 Facets of Feminine Grace. It's an online workshop, and I do a lot of guided visualization. There's actually 12 classes, and there's always at least one guided visualization. And if a woman would practice in her head, like go into a real deep relaxation, let every muscle relax, and then imagine what you just said. Imagine what that quote's about. Imagine receiving. Imagine leaving, whatever it is, leaving the masculine energy at work. Our minds don't know that it's not really happening. And if we practice and imagine a man there and being in this other kind of energy, it'll become more natural. Guided visualization is a very powerful way to learn new habits.
I completely agree. And people don't put enough effort into that. And I think it's so important.
Oh, yeah. I have it in every one of my classes.
So what makes a man want to be in a serious relationship with a woman?
Bottom line, he feels good being with her.
And define what you mean by good, because good could be good to one person and good to another. So what are some key things that make a man feel good?
Well, one thing that a woman needs to do is pay attention to what makes him feel good about being who he is, about being a man. I mean, some men might be all about how strong he is with his muscles. Another man, it might be about how smart he is, how good he is at solving problems. And, you know, depending on what kind of guy you're attracted to, maybe you're always attracted to the genius types. Well, just appreciate the heck out of that.
Right.
And then he's going to feel like, wow. And don't beat him up. That's a habit that women have. They don't realize that they are snipping away at his gonads, and men don't like that. They pull back.
Yeah.
So when you hear a woman, you hear them out and about, it's like, oh, I can't believe that she's talking to him like that and putting him down and making him feel like he's messed up all the time.
Right. And I tell women that all the time is when you emasculate a man, forget it. He's not going to stick around. Who would stick around for that?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the thing is, they don't know they're doing it. That's, this built into this whole feminist competitive thing with men. Mm-hmm. So that's where, awareness. We can't change anything until we're aware of what needs to be changed. Right. So I recommend just start paying attention to how you speak to men at work and all the time, all men. Because even if they're a little more appreciative of what a man brings to the table, his masculine qualities, even at work, they just go, you compliment him. Wow, that was a great presentation, Joe. You just really nailed it. And he's going to puff up and like, well, thank you. And practice.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can hear all these women out there right now saying, oh my God, this is ridiculous. You mean I have to put this guy on a pedestal and praise him? What do you say to that?
Well, the bottom line is this. There's so little that men want and need. That's why Men Made Easy, the title fits. That's all they want. They just want to be the man. That's all they know how to be.
Right.
We women know how to be masculine. We know how to be feminine. We know how to be soft and fluffy. We are so capable. And women say, how come we have to do all the work? Because he's not going to.
Right.
If you want a better relationship, just show up in what I call a beautiful way. Be beautiful, not just in how you look. Be beautiful. And a beautiful woman, a gracious woman, doesn't snipe at people and doesn't put them down and doesn't make them feel bad and doesn't emasculate.
And what I have to add to that too, that I think is really important, is how you talk to somebody else. Would you want someone to talk to you in that way? And I think if women looked at it in that way, they would change the way they talk to a man and stop emasculating him and just talk to him like he's a human being, and they'd probably get a better response from him.
Totally better. And that's why I said, once you're aware, now that if they've been watching this, they're aware, just kind of imagine, step back and watch yourself, how you talk. And that's a great idea. Switch it around. How would you like it if people were saying those things with those tones of voice and those mannerisms in the same way? It doesn't feel good. And they shrink back. They pull back and guard their hearts.
Exactly. So what would you say is the best kept secret about men? Because I know you interviewed men for over 2 years, and I know you have some sort of secret about them that none of us know. So tell us what the best kept secret about men is.
Men crave intimacy more than women do.
Really? See, yeah. I'm shocked even.
Well, think about it. Okay, women, we can become intimate.
Right.
And I'm not talking physically.
Mm-hmm.
We can become intimate with a lady in the checkout stand.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly we can share and sometimes real personal stuff.
Right.
With sometimes a stranger, but especially with our girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many outlets for this. What does a man have?
Nothing.
Nothing. But he needs it. He needs it just as much as a woman does, and he craves it more because he has no outlet. A woman is his only outlet, and if he has to be on guard because she might be emasculating at any moment,
mm-hmm.
he has nowhere.
So would you say that it's harder for a guy to make that emotional connection and have that intimacy with a woman?
Absolutely. They have learned, guard the heart. I can't reveal too much about myself. And when a man does, see, I learned a technique in my interviews that gets a man to open up.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I explain as I share this technique with women is if he shares something personal,
uh-huh.
guard it like a little baby bird that's fallen out of a nest. It's that fragile. And to you, it may be no big deal because we share so much.
Right.
Not for a man. And if he finds out you've told someone else, or if you belittle it or want to like dissect it and, maybe you should feel this way, they won't share again.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that, for them, it's a big deal to open up, and they generally won't open up until they're pretty far along in a relationship. But if you know this technique, then even on a date, maybe it might be the third date, you can get him to open up with this trick, and he's going to feel amazing. Men thanked me all the time, and they told me pretty much every interview, and I did hundreds of interviews. I never told anyone that before. They said it felt good, but I could hear a little trepidation. Just like, oh my God, I never told anyone that before. So, and I really honor that stuff as very precious.
Yeah, because when he opens up like that, he's feeling pretty vulnerable,
and he's feeling safe. If you make him feel safe, then and you keep it that way, you're going to have a happy man.
Oh, that's great.
It is.
I love all these secret tips you gave us about men and what they really want. I know the women appreciated it today. So one last question. Give us your best dating tip for women.
Well, I think the best one is what we've been talking about all along, and that is learn the skill of setting that masculine energy aside, because the bottom line is women are burned out and exhausted anyway. When they're in their feminine energy, they can when your batteries, recharge your batteries.
Right.
So it's a benefit to the woman, and it's a benefit to the relationship and the possibility of creating love when she does that.
That's great. I love that tip, and it's so, so important for women.
It is, absolutely.
So now how does our audience find you?
Well, I actually would like to make an offer which will entice them to find me.
Okay.
And that is, my website is karaoh.com, Karaoh. And what I'd like to do is offer this book that we've been talking about for free to your audience only. And I know I'm going to give you a way to give them a special link, so that they can come back to my website and have access to it for free.
Great. And we'll put that link on the page, so you can click through on the page to Kara's website to get the book for free. And I think that's so generous of you. Thank you so much.
I've never done that before. I've never offered it for free. So this is it feels good to do that. There's also will be the audio recording and some videos that I made to kind of go along with the book. And they'll learn that special technique.
That's great. And so if you're listening on our podcast, you can go to singleandstilettos.com and look for Kara's interview on the site. And on that page, we will have a link to get the free book. If you're watching at our video, you can also get this as a podcast, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time, so you can listen to our podcast. And if you'd like to get our free report on the top 10 secrets on what attracts a man and what turns him off, you can click right here.